So I went to the Women's Resource Center, and they had directed me to a different agency initially. And at that time, they had a full caseload and weren't able to help me. But they told me that given the needs that I needed, that North Star would probably be a better fit for me anyways. And so they gave me the contact information for North Star. And then I called North Star and I got hooked up with Diane, and that's my case manager. And she helped me get started on the application and all the forms that I needed. And it's been really great since then. So I went through a divorce about 2.5 years ago, and my ex had started becoming really inconsistent with payments for child support and alimony. Got to the point where I was like, I have to figure out a way how to make everything work just on my salary alone. And the place where I was living was too expensive for for me to support completely on my own without having any support from my ex. So I wound up moving in with my niece temporarily for a few months. And then I found North Star, and I found the apartment complex that I'm in now. And I was able to get some help with the rent so that I could afford that all on my own, whether he made payments or not, which is great because now I don't feel nervous like, oh my gosh, am I getting anything this month? It's been helpful going through the expenses. I think too, you just get caught up in day-to-day living activities that you don't always like go through your monthly spending. So it has been helpful to see each month like, oh, you know what, we ate out maybe a little more than we should have this month, or my grocery bill got really high this month. Like, let's take a look at that and figure out maybe where I could scale back so next month it's a little bit more manageable. So that part's been really helpful, and it just making me more aware, I think, of how I'm spending as well. And Diane did go over some budgeting tips with me, just ideas on how to, set budgets. So, I can, like, if I realize my food allotment for last month was a little high, maybe next month I could be like, all right, let's try to keep it to X amount of dollars per week so that, I'm not, by the end of the month, it's not like, ooh, it's really tight. Before, this is a really expensive area, and just being able to partake in the school districts, like the apartments are really expensive here. So being able to have some rental assistance every month has just made it so much easier for me that, I can count on a certain amount of my paycheck going towards the rent, and knowing that, North Star is covering that other portion for me, which helps me to be able to afford my Pico bill a lot easier, and like my insurance on my car. So it just helps me budget a lot better. Like I said before, I feel like everyone falls on hard times. Sometimes it's through no fault of their own. And it's just nice to have a community that will back and help. I always, like, I'm a big believer in you get what you put in. So if you're helping people, eventually you get that back. I know I've helped a lot of people even before I needed help myself. I feel like, it's kind of like the karma thing, and I'm a firm believer in, like, if you put good in, you're going to get good out.